Hi there. I'm not Billy Collins. We've been enjoying listening to him every day at 5:30. He's been reading from his books and Questions About Angels today. And he was talking about Franz Kafka and how interesting it is to be able to write from the point of view of a cockroach, or the different things that he did in Metamorphosis, which I had to read in German when I was in high school. Couldn't do it now. So I came in from my walk. Michael has said to me, be very careful and wear a mask, so I decided to wear a mask, but now I can take my mask off and I can read to you guys, so just bear with me a minute. All right, so he was talking about Franz Kafka and also about Galway Canal, and how Galway would sit and have breakfast, and he would actually have breakfast talking to Keats, which reminded me of a couple of poems I've written, some Billy Collins inspired and some others. But I will read a couple for you today, and then we'll go from there. All right, so the first one I had marked, but then somebody called on the phone, so I had to change what I was doing and start over again. But this one was about my love for Kafka, and I will read it to you if I can find it now. It's called February in Mustique. Literature should act as an axe for the frozen sea inside us. Franz Kafka. I spotted him just off the reefs. I thought he was a dolphin, heading in the wrong direction toward Mustique, where I'd spent 9 days of tranquility, studying frangipani and conch, coconut milk, and sun-brewed tea. I'd left winter. My eyes were snow moons. Back home in Waffles and Wool, I trudged every day to the library, where I'd meet Kafka in the stacks. A shy, uptight patron, he cleared his throat when he asked for the key to the men's room. Down here, I remembered my Czech friend and wondered if he could possibly know this man who'd booked his ticket, packed his suitcase, and somehow gotten through security with an axe. Apparently, he was one of Kafka's poems. I came across Caliban again in a tropical forest as he chopped his way through native trees, flamboyant and monkey bamboo. I made him follow me back to the hotel, where I offered to buy sun-brewed tea, anything he fancied. Never mind how I got him through the lobby, this rough and crafty-looking fellow. It is enough to know that after we wrestled on my bed, a painting of a Gauguin woman looked wide-eyed at the mess we'd made, and at me, out on the patio, sipping daiquiri wrung out of my hair. So much for Kafka. I was inspired by the way Billy Collins writes to write another travel poem. And this one was about Moscow. There are certain places that people just smoke continually, and Moscow is one of them. So I will read you this. April in Moscow, after Billy Collins. A letter never sent is a kind of purgatory. Chekhov. After Helsinki, the colors of Moscow entranced me, all those shades of blood. So I spent morning after morning walking or taking the metro, popping out of the ground like a Warhol locust. Turning my face to the sun, I breathed in red square while I worked myself up to a steaming bowl of borscht. I wished I'd been a healthy beet instead of a caramelized onion, clearly different than my bustling camarados. I walked along whistling America or chanting a song of myself. Everyone smoked here, even 5-year-old boys. I'd pass waitresses flexing their tired calves after a shift, rings of smoke rising off them like birthday candles. I'd pass bankers and civil servants uncomfortable in their ill-fitting suits. They would have left their cubbies in a hurry, beds messy, a fly swatter at the ready, and a burst of sudden self-loathing. Sometimes I would pass an unsent letter by Chekhov, awkward in his papery skin, clearly aiming for a mail slot. Once I saw a gaunt smoker, unsure, perhaps shy. He disappeared down a side street where I heard keening. Another joined him, and they fought in the alley. Whoever had done him wrong was still waiting for an answer. Distraught and tortured, they would never satisfy with a reply. In all my travels and all my years of departures or arrivals, sad faces at railroad stations, nothing had prepared me for this. I had denied all my life what I secretly knew inside. Somewhere someone was waiting for one of these smoky-eyed dreamers to show up, to appear out of the blue, swinging a picnic basket of answers to thoughts reluctantly silenced. I sit with a bowl of tasteless roots, a few bitter potatoes, before I make my way to a yeasty cafe with strong coffee. And why the postman, through the window, will see me as he knocks at the neighbor's door, pursing beet-stained lips, murmuring gibberish to an empty envelope. And the last one I will read is about Keats, who died miserably of tuberculosis in Rome. And so this was called To Sleep with Keats because he had written To Sleep as one of his books. To sleep with Keats and seal the hushed casket of my soul. The train that brings me to him has a snoot full of diesel, which reminds me of a snood that I'm wearing on my hair. My mother would know, but John is dying. Who cares about words? He's already dead by some accounts, this city bile rising in his throat. We are in Rome. I am thumbing through his pages. I am touching his fever, laying my hands on his face like fronds. I am the doctor sent to cure him. I am sitting on the edge of his cot, pleading with worms and blades, trying to bleed him. I am his final miracle. I am the one who will coax him back to life with each piss-colored pass of broth to his lips. His lungs rise like a porridge that scalds the stove, bubbling down the front of his chest. John is half dead. I am distressed. He rasps, bleeds in fits and starts, her name bubbling blood on his lips. I tell him to tell me plain. His friend waits for me in the museum, heart throbbing under the floorboards. I want to know which woman did him in. I lay my hands on his chest. He begs for laudanum, thinks I am Fanny. The museum closes in 25 minutes, but I am reading to him to sleep. He tells me there's coins in his purse to help myself. He tells me his pocket watch is ticking past the museum's closing, to not fret over him, to give Percy his best regards. That's it for today. Thank you.